I am so ready to just stir up the pot with you guys. Okay, let me go grab all of the books that these are pertaining to. Not all of them, I don't know. Okay. I think that I have gotten all the books. So, hello everybody, welcome to today's video. Today's video is a little different. I thought that it would be fun to do this video because I actually did a TikTok over on my TikTok where I basically was bored, and so I took some of my most prominent TV/movie couples, and I told you guys my opinion on whether or not I thought after the show or movie ended, I thought that they actually stayed together. And I had some of you comment on that and say, oh my gosh, do this with book couples. And then I was like, you know what? This sounds like a video that I'm formulating. So here we are. I thought it would be a fun little cute thing to do. So I have some of the more hyped up books that are on my bookshelves. I did that way, mostly everyone may have read these books, that way you know the couples that I'm talking about. Also, I did not include anybody in this book that it is involved in a love triangle or anything like that. These are all of the people that you know are in the story and you're reading a romance. Yeah, let's get into it. Let me start talking crap about some of the couples that you guys love, probably. To make this a little bit more spiced up for today's video, I put just a bunch of couple names that came off the top of my head, put them in the little picker wheel, generator thing where you just spin it and it picks one for you. That way we can kind of randomize them a little bit and just have fun with it. So let's spin. We have none other than Charlie and Nora. Charlie and Nora's book is Book Lovers by Emily Henry. This was a new release back in May. And if you guys know, you know I absolutely adore this book, but that's not what this is about. This is about if I think that they stay together after this. And if I had to say, I feel like they did. Here's my reasoning. The reasoning being is because A, they both have very similar career paths. So the life that they live is very similar. So I feel like they can understand each other on that note. They have the same job basically. So they understand each other. Their banter was exquisite. I cannot imagine a relationship getting boring when you have that type of banter. Hello, that's to dream for. It's to die for, to love for. Everything. Just their connection, the way that they just bounce off of each other, their energy matches so well. I literally love them. I could say with my full chest that I definitely feel like they did last after this book. Also, I'm very aware that some of these couples do have epilogues or there's a continuation in the series where you see them. I am literally just saying, if we didn't get an epilogue from them, just their story playing on out, if I think that they stay together or not. Misha and Ryan. I can say with my wholeheartedness, no, they didn't. And I'm just so conflicted on whether or not I'm saying no because I don't think that they are a match, which I do feel, or no because I'm really hoping that, after high school, your frontal lobe keeps on maturing, right? I literally took AP psychology, and I don't know, maybe some of you girlies know. Your frontal lobe isn't fully developed yet. Therefore, there could be some maturing happening there. And, then they don't work out. Because that's just what I see in my mind. Because from the people that both of them are, it's not even just singling one out. Who both of them are wasn't it for me. And wasn't it for each other. Brie and Nathan, which is from The Cheat Sheet by Sarah Adams. I would say yes. I would say with my full heart, yes. Here's the reason why. One, they had an amazing friendship before, anything happens with them. And I think that that's so important in relationships, period, is to have an underlying sense of friendship, to kind of have this friendship connection, but care more about somebody than a friend. The relationship that they had as friends was, I feel like, a good foundation base for their actual relationship to be very, very strong. They understand each other so well, and I just don't see them breaking up. We have Josh and Jules. This may be an unpopular opinion because whenever Twisted Hate came out, I think back in February, people were loving Josh and Jules, loving them. I read this book Why am I making a hissing sound? I read this book a few months ago. No. I was like enjoying the Twisted series, like not my favorite thing ever, but I was like thoroughly enjoying the series until like these last 2 books came along. No, I would never recover from some of the stuff that happens in this book. Personally, I wouldn't let that slide. To me, I have a little filing cabinet in my brain. It's like the episode of SpongeBob, you know, like when he like has all the files and they're like open them up and everything's on fire. Imagine those filing cabinets in my brain, and every mean thing that someone has ever said to me, put it in there, because it's staying there forever. I know it's toxic and I know that's not good for me to do, or things that have happened in this book. I personally don't see them working out. I don't see them working out because it's just like, it doesn't feel like there's a foundation for their relationship. It doesn't feel like there's this like strong connection between them. I also didn't feel that. Like honestly, I was just kind of like, oh, I mean, yeah, I guess since this book's about them, but like if this book wasn't about them, I would just assume that they went their separate ways. Prue and Ren. I think that they do stay together. Here's the reasoning. At the beginning of this book, I really didn't like Ren. I really didn't like him as a person. I was just kind of like, he gave me a little bit of the ick at the beginning. I was like, okay, I don't know if I can get with this. Like, I don't know, just that type of guy. But then slowly through the story, I'm like, okay, Ren. The way that the like stuff that this man pulls for Crew, okay, like I do think that they stay together because of the character development of both of the characters. I feel like if they would have been the same exact people that they were at the beginning of the story, no. Not a day in their life could they have dreamed of that, no. But who they are at the end, 100%. Kids are enjoying themselves outside, that can't be a thing. Ledger and Kenna. I definitely think that they do stay together. Here's the thing, at first, circumstances in this book, like when I realized that Ledger is the love interest, which it's not realizing, it's literally on the back of the book that he is like the other main character for this book. I was a little like, I don't know how to feel, you know? But then I was kind of falling into it and I was like, wait, oh my God, I love this. Like, I love it. But at first I was a little like, like, I don't know about that. Like, like, no, like maybe no. And I think that they stay together. I think that they have a very strong bond. I feel like there's a strong foundation there for their relationship. And I do feel like they just will always be together. I don't feel like there's a split up incoming once they hit their like mid-30s, mid-40s. Isn't that when most people get divorced? I don't know. Magnolia and BJ from Magnolia Parks. I have only read Magnolia Parks and didn't love it. I'm not going to talk about the book though because that's not what we're here for. We're here to hear about the couples. But I am just letting you guys know that I have only read this one. I don't know what happens in the 3rd book or something. I don't know what happens in the other book. I don't know because I haven't read it. From this standpoint, and just like honestly, I've had enough. Do I think no? It's just a flat out no because just, oh my God. Ugh. It's just toxic where it's literally like, you guys don't need to be together. I understand because I feel like kind of everyone's been there at one point where you're like, oh, but I do like him though. And it's like, no. Like I've been there with my friends before, be like, no, honey, no. That's how I feel reading this book, like how I would talk to Magnolia. I'd be like, no, sweetie. No, it's okay. It's okay to move on. I understand that some people do like reading more like toxic relationships because it's fiction, whatever. Reading them, completely fine as long as you understand that what you're reading like isn't what you should strive for in a relationship. You should look for other, I'm going on a rant right now, but just like you guys deserve the best, you know? I feel like I'm like screaming at my best friend being like, don't text him back. And then they're like, oh no, I won't. And then they're like, oh, okay, well he texted me the other night and I'm like, oh. But I thought you weren't texting him. Like, you know, like that's how I feel. And this is a whole entire roundabout way again of me saying no. I don't think that they should be together and I don't think that they do. Or I feel like I can see out on the horizon somewhere that there's a breakup. Wow, I just went in on that. We have Piper and Brendan from It Happens One Summer. It happened one summer. Let me think. Yes. I do think that they stay together. I love like this type of grumpy sunshine, not where it's like, oh, I hate everybody and like I'm so rude to everybody, but more of just the like, you're a little like genuinely grumpy, because most of the time when it's like grumpy sunshine, no, the dude's just an a-hole and he's a jerk. No, he's not grumpy, he's just not a good person. But with this one, it was just genuinely one of those just like, oh, grumpy little guys, like, you know, I just said grumpy little guy. It's like where she's just like, they're polar opposites, and I feel like that's so adorable in a relationship. Like, I love that when you see it in real life and when you read it in books, like the whole entire like, oh, I'm so outgoing and I love sunshine and I love, you know, this and that, and he's just like low-key, doesn't want to talk to anybody, only really cares about her. Like, well, he cares about other people, but he just like has such a soft spot for her where he's not so rude to everyone else. He's just like a little closed off. So Alex and Ava from Twisted Love. I feel like Ava is going to get older and she's going to kind of be over Alex's antics and she's gonna drop him. That's how I feel. I do feel like that. I feel like at one point she's gonna be like, I am too old for this. I'm too old for it. And then she's just gonna go. Hannah and Garrett. We all know I am a Garrett Graham girly. If I had my Hydro Flask up here, I would show you guys that I have a Garrett Graham sticker on my Hydro Flask at all times. If I'm being 100% honest, if I had to pick one couple from all of the off-campus series that I think would 100% stay together. Oh, wait, no, that's hard. But if I did have to pick one couple, I do feel like it would be Garrett and Hannah. I feel like they're such a strong force like in their relationship, because I didn't feel like in their book they had problems like within themselves with each other. Okay, I'm only going to do a few more because maybe we should save a few for a part 2 if you guys want a part 2. Macy and Elliot from Love in Other Words. Who else? I'm actually in the middle of rereading this right now and annotating it. Sir, do I think that they stay together? 110%. They are soulmates. They are made for each other. Do you guys even have to ask me this question? Do you guys even have to see that they are popping up on your screen and be like, oh, I wonder what Destiny thinks? No, you don't. Because you guys know that I love them so much. They're one of my favorite couples. If you guys aren't following, I always have my Pinterest like down below. I have a book Pinterest where like after I read a book that I love, I go and find like the aesthetics of it, and then I make like a little Pinterest board for it. For if you guys are interested in reading a certain book, I put the little aesthetics on my Pinterest, so you guys can go follow that. It's pretty sure Des's books or what's Des's book. Actually, it's just down below, so go follow it. I have a board for them. I love them with my whole entire heart. They're one of my top 5, top 10 book couples ever. January and Gus. Yes, 100%. If they didn't last after Gus looks at January and is like, sometimes when I watch you sleep, like I'm just overwhelmed that you exist. Like, personally, if someone ever looked at me, I would never let go. I would be like, you are never going anywhere, because that is the cutest thing that I've ever heard in my whole entire life. And then when he's like, I don't need snowflakes as long as I have January. Like, I want to go run into the highway. I want to go run like this into the highway. You can't tell me that he would say these things to her and they wouldn't last, because they did. I'm gonna take my time. Miles and Tate. I do not think that they end up together. I definitely see them breaking up down the line, like down the road somewhere, and not even that far. I see them just, you know, no. Just no, I don't see them together. I mean, so no, I do not think that they would stay together forever. I don't think they're 4-lifers. They are not in my 4-lifers category. Okay guys, those are all of the book couples that I'm talking about today. If you guys want me to do a part 2, if you guys somehow found enjoyment from this, which I don't think that you guys did, if I'm being honest, like this was just such a random video that probably added absolutely nothing to your life, but if it did entertain you for a little bit, you guys know what to do. Like, comment, subscribe. If you want a part 2, tell me down below and tell me some book couples that you would like me to talk about, and tell you guys if I think that they stay together for life. Sorry that I just burped right there, but I'm not saying it again. And I'll see you guys when I see ya. Peace.